world-famous jazz diva of Paris in the Roaring '20s. But also a spy, decorated with the Légion d'honneur and honored in the Panthéon. What few people know is that her most daring mission was not against the Axis, but against an ally. Joséphine Baker, take on the British Empire. Born in Missouri in 1906, Joséphine Baker rose from poverty to international stardom. By the mid-1920s, she had become the toast of Paris, captivating audiences with her voice, her dancing, and her bold modern style. But beyond the spotlight, Baker was also deeply patriotic. When war came, she refused to leave the country that had embraced her. Instead, she offered her fame, her contacts, and even her life in service of France. It was this devotion, combined with her ability to move unnoticed through high society, that made her an ideal recruit for the French intelligence services. By her side stood Captain Jacques Abti, an officer of French counterintelligence. Baker's fame was the perfect disguise. Crowds adored her. Diplomats and officers paid attention only to the radiant star on stage, never to her quiet secretary, the small man with a mustache at her side. After the fall of France in 1940, Baker and Abti joined the Free French movement under Charles de Gaulle. Officially, they were on cultural and propaganda tours across the Middle East. In reality, their mission was espionage. From Algiers to Cairo, Beirut, and Damascus, they gathered intelligence on troop movements, political intrigues, and the shifting loyalties of leaders in the region. Baker used her status to approach ambassadors and generals, while Abti collected and transmitted the intelligence. But their most secret operations were not directed at the Axis powers, they were aimed at Britain. In the Levant, British intelligence was working quietly to push France out of Syria and Lebanon. For de Gaulle, this was a betrayal. For Baker and Abti, it became a new front in the shadow war. In late 1943, Baker warned that events were building in Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt. She was not only a collector of information, but also an analyst and strategist. Abti sent desperate encrypted cables to Algiers, intercepted and decrypted by British codebreakers. In them, he pleaded for urgent action to counter British maneuvers. But due to rivalries in the French intelligence and political circles, their initiatives were ignored. Some rivals even blamed Abti and Baker for interfering in international affairs. Then came November 1943. The Lebanese Prime Minister, Riyad al-Sul, declared an end to the French mandate. The French delegate overreacted, suspending the constitution and arresting the Lebanese government. The crisis shook the Allied unity to its core. Churchill even considered cutting ties with de Gaulle altogether. For Baker and Abti, it was a bitter turning point. Their intelligence had predicted the crisis, but their warnings were ignored. Abti was sidelined and dismissed from service. Baker, too famous to be punished, left for Italy to continue performing for Allied troops. Abti's memoirs remain a rare window into the hidden conflicts within the Allied camp. For him, the war's end meant a quiet life, overshadowed by the secrecy of the profession he had once broken by writing about it. For Joséphine Baker, life took a different course. After the war, she devoted herself to humanitarian causes. At her estate, Les Milandis, she created a rainbow tribe, 12 adopted children from around the world, raised together to embody her dream of racial harmony. She became a powerful voice in the civil rights movement, speaking at the March on Washington in 1963 alongside Martin Luther King Jr. Even in her later years, she returned to the stage with triumphs in Paris, New York, and beyond, until her death in 1975. Thousands lined the streets of Paris for her funeral, where she received full French military honors, the first American-born woman to be laid to rest in the Pantheon. Joséphine Baker's greatest performance was not on stage, but in her unshakable devotion to freedom, justice, and France, the country she chose as her own.